only Malayalam cinema can make a coming of age story about a group of friends into a cinematic experience. And that too without anything fancy, just pure storytelling skills. Where else can this happen? That a film starring debutants who are influencers without any big star goes on to make 100 crores at the box office. So to understand the magic behind it, let's talk about Vaazha II. Directed by the debutant Savin S and written by Vipin, a sequel to the 2014 film Vaazha. Now the big question is not if part 1 is better or part 2, but did the film make me cry? Because I'm a man. As we grow up, we kill our sensitivity. That's literally what the film tries to depict. And even if you feel anything, we are really good at controlling it. What a coincidence that at the same time the film came out, a stand-up special was out by Samir Raina, where it literally talks about how men suppress their emotions. Now the truth be told, by the end of the film, I had a lump in my throat, tears in my eyes, but I manifested my Goku powers and controlled it all. I think it's the music they play at the end. It's a cheat code. You put that music for anything and you'll cry. The scene that got me was a brother and sister sharing ice cream. And then it was just a struggle controlling myself. Now moving ahead, talking more about the film, we will avoid any spoilers. We'll reserve that for the live stream this weekend, so do join. I think the biggest point about this film is that the scale of any film comes from its storytelling. Recently I made a video about Malayalam cinema going big with Kathanar and Patriot, and in that video I said that a healthy industry needs to make all kind of films. But the true power of Malayalam cinema is that they can make films like Vaazha II. The film lives up to its tagline, a biopic of billion bros. The film talks about the various things men go through in a society. For a change, we have a film raising men's social issue. Now the argument is that men run the world, we live in a patriarchal world, but we are also the victims of it. That we are also conditioned in that way. Like we are the man of the house, we have to take up the responsibility. And the film explores all of this in every different angle. As kids, the excitement you have of a sibling coming into your life, wishing that it's a brother, so you have another partner to play with. Because in this world, boys play together. But when that wish is granted, things change. Suddenly you become the older one. Thus, you have to take up the responsibility. You are not a kid anymore. You just don't have to take care of yourself, but of the little one too. And that little one takes away all the attention and love which you were supposed to get. That's where the sibling rivalry starts and becomes sore. This is where parenting becomes very important, for which even they are not trained for. So the portrayal of all of this in the film is so well done. The relatability factor of this film exceeds language and culture. The way they have captured the school life, from the morning assembly during the prayer, kids falling unconscious. I'm proud that in my days that never happened with me, but I don't think that's something to be proud of. They literally showed the pen fight. Oh my god, those days. We hated people who brought matrix pen because it was too heavy. We used to literally modify our pens, add extra rubber to it to give us a better grip. And that could be a movie in itself. Getting bored in the class, playing during the interval, having a crush but unable to talk to them, building strong friendships which is over everything else. The film just sucks you in all of this. The film also celebrates the social fabric of Kerala, and you witness it through small moments spread across the film. Like this one sequence in the film which I never thought I'll ever see it in a film, where they take one community which is often shown in a bad light and takes one of the attribute which is used often as an insult and show the whole process in a very light-hearted manner. And that is just not entertaining, but also an exposure for you to understand the process, the culture and the belief. The way the friendships happen in the film remind me of Thalumala. If you know, you know. Now I am dead sure that I missed out on a lot of things, a lot of cultural references. The subtitles were good, but there were many places where the audiences around me were laughing, but I didn't understand why. And there were moments I knew they are talking about something specific which people in Kerala would know, but at no point it felt like I missed out too much. Even without all of those things, the film still makes sense. It is still fun to watch. That's one of the beautiful quality of the films, that it feels like you have experienced a whole culture just by watching this 2-hour film. Now the interval block of the film is so well staged. There's layers to it and they just keep building up to it. They pull off such a fascinating thing which I'll talk about in the spoiler discussion. It's like a big reveal that happens in a tragic situation, but because of that reveal, our main character is super happy, even if the situation is not that great. Like the way they hit that complexity is outstanding. Now post interval is where the film kind of drops for me. For almost 15 minutes it becomes a PSA, a lecture not just for the characters in the film but also the audience is watching it. And it had fun elements. I understood the Premam reference they were going for, and there were a lot of laughs through that sequence, but it just didn't click for me. It kind of became very preachy and in your face. And the thing is, post that sequence we actually see everything that was being given as a lecture in action, and that made me wonder if you already had this in action we see the consequences the characters will face, then why have that whole sequence in the first place? It's a classic show don't tell. We see the characters getting mocked. They are stained for life. It may never leave them. And them facing all of this does a way better job than giving a full-on lecture. After that, we see the transformation of boys becoming men. Something very similar to what we saw in the first film, when the good fun times comes to cease and reality strikes. And the climax of the film is so different that in a traditional sense, you would say it's abrupt. It does give you a very cathartic feeling, but it's not happy, and it almost feels like unfinished. Because we don't get a closure. We don't get to see where these characters would end. But still it works because the point was never about if these people can do it or not. Of course, they'll make something out of their lives. But it was about hitting that realization, that big change that has to take place. And once that happens, we all know what will follow. And we really end the film on a very emotional high until the post-credit comes. Now the placement of that was very interesting, which we'll discuss more about in the spoilers. But before that too, throughout the film, there are small cameos which I noticed because the camera stayed on them for more than few seconds, and I was like, wait, I know that actor, but that actor is not playing a character in this film. And then it struck me what they're doing there. So I really like this effect of combining both stories. The music of the film is really something that just enhances the vibe of it. Two of the songs are already in my playlist. Coming to the performances, I think the whole cast did a really good job. Now I got to know that the main cast are all influencers. They used to make reels and then they landed up making this, which was the case for the first film also. And you could tell that it's not a gimmick, that these people are famous on social media, so let us cast them in the film and the film will work. It's actually the other way around. The film demands young faces because it's telling a story of young people, and if you can get recognized faces for it, that's great. Now I didn't know any of them, but all of them did a great job. They clicked in the role they were given. Now in the supporting cast, there were some well-known names, but there was this one actor which I felt was wasted in the film, Aju Varghese. I think he's barely there in the first half, and in the second half he just has one scene where he actually gets to do something interesting, and that's it. Vijay Babu as his Khadu's teacher was really good. Now there's lots more to talk about the film, which we'll do in the spoiler section. To do subscribe for that. Now we already have a big hit for the year in Malayalam, but there are two biggies which are coming our way, which I've talked about in this video, Patreon and Katana. Definitely check it out, and I will see you next time.